Hi there, Fikes team. Today, Laura and I are here to talk to you about communication tips and tricks and to do a bit of training through emphasizing some points that are really important and doing a role practice so that when you're in conversations with clients or with team members, or even to be honest, it can be a secret weapon when you're talking to your family, say your kids, family members, or your significant others. So first, remember the points some of you may have heard. It's called the Fikes 3 A's, and they are as follows: acknowledge, ask, and answer, and in generally that order. So we're gonna start a role practice that's going to involve that and hit on those points. So here goes. A question that you may ask a client that you run into would be something like, "Hi, Laura."
Hi, Mark.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
I was wondering, I'm curious if there's any products that aren't as easy for you to get right now.
Yeah, that's a great question. To-go containers, napkins, portion cups, bags, anything that has to do with my restaurant and serving our customers has definitely been a challenge.
Great. So pausing off role practice, that was beautiful. Laura just gave me a tremendous opportunity and a lot of different things that I'm good and my company is really good at solving. But I want you to resist the temptation, because what many of us do is we get so excited that we go right into problem solution mode and we don't actually take the time to hear out some of those, what we call the ERB, which are things like
The emotional reason for buying.
the emotional reasons for buying, frustration, concern, etc. So in that moment, you want to make sure to remember the 2 P's, not to be confused with the Fikes 5 P's, the conversational 2 P's, which are you want to pause and peel. You want to pause in that moment to not solve the problem too quickly, and you want to peel that onion back. And you do that by acknowledging statements like saying in the moment, "That sounds challenging. Wow." Or, "I feel your frustration." Or, "Thanks for sharing. Please tell me more." Those are acknowledging statements that will tell the person you're speaking to that you're listening to them. If you go right into solution mode, that individual in a business sense feels like they're being sold. And people want to buy, but they don't want to be sold. That's a scientific study that I can send links on later. But the reality is that you acknowledge and you ask questions. And you may even ask a question like, "Thanks for sharing all that, Laura. Of all those different products, which one would you say would be the most important to you?"
Likely the to-go boxes,
And why is that?
because that's how we get our food out. We're getting more and more orders, and we have to be able to have the food to put in. A lot of my customers can understand if I don't have a bag, but if I don't actually have a product that can hold my food, I can't sell it.
I was just about to ask you, what would you do? But I think you just answered the question. You can't sell it.
Right.
What would that cost your business?
A lot. I haven't broken down the numbers as I don't want to, but it would be a lot.
Well, I don't know if you'd want to either. I know that one of our clients that we had helped, they have about 86 locations. They were not going to have to-go containers or bags or napkins, and just being closed for just a day was going to cost them millions of dollars.
Yeah. Wow. I believe that.
So going off of role play, do you see how we haven't yet, even in the conversation, pitched? We've paused and we've peeled, no pitch. We're just talking to the client, showing them that we're acknowledging their challenges, asking them questions of what matters to them. And then if we have to answer any question, say for instance, question Laura might ask me, which would be,
So what kind of items can you provide me?
well, thanks for asking that question. And I'd say in the early days, over 20 years ago, probably just a handful, but today it's probably easier to tell you what we don't carry.
Okay.
So as a for instance, you mentioned to-go containers, you mentioned napkins, to-go bags. So really all of those product items are staples that we carry every single day. Not to mention sometimes dependent upon the size and relationship, we do custom. Anything you can possibly imagine for your facility, our company takes care of and takes care of very well.
Wow, I didn't know you did all that. That's great. Is that something you can help me with?
When you say help, I don't want to overly assume I know what that means. What would be the best way to help you?
By taking a look at what I'm doing and see if you can provide me with those items so I don't have to go out shopping for them or send my team members to do that?
Well, I would absolutely love to take a look. And if we did that, and if it appeared that we could provide all the items you needed and get them to you in a timely manner at a value that made sense to you and didn't cost you more both in time and expense, and I mean, I don't know if this is how you feel, but some of our clients have even had anxiety over it. Would that be true for you?
Yeah, I can relate, absolutely.
So if we handled all those three core things, can you think of any reason that you wouldn't trust me and my company to take care of you?
I can't think of anything, Mark, honestly.
Well, let's take a look.
Okay.
So if we think about how that conversation went, you really break it down. At the end of it, Laura was asking me how I could help her. I wasn't pitching to her how I would sell anything. It's an emotional relief that I have an opportunity to help her, and it's trust built in that conversation because I acknowledged, because I asked questions showing I was listening, because I also acknowledged her by name, which is incredibly important from relationship building for you to know their name and them to know yours. And then when asked a question, I didn't get into the nitty-gritty of the exact dimension or pH level or color or size. I instead spoke at a high level by stating what we did was probably easier to tell her of what we didn't do. So I hope that was really helpful. Remember that the 3 A's and the pause, the no pitch and peel, are really your secret weapon in any communication engagement to take it further, to take it deeper, and to make it better for everyone. So thanks for listening. If you have any questions, Laura and I are always here to help you. Onward and upward.